horse, when horses are right and you know the sort of things are going your way, you've got to make the most of it because I just think they're well in themselves. And you'd have to say just earlier on in the year, November, which is actually usually sort of a good time for us, they weren't just 100%, and there was we had to sort of just iron out a few kinks, and then the weather came and things got bad. But since then they've come back really well, and when they're like this, these sort of funny things do happen, and it's nice.
Analysing it, there's been so much said about Long Run, but he's delivered.
Yeah, I think we've always said this was his prime objective in the whole year, and it has worked. In fairness, if he didn't win this, he wasn't going to win certainly a Gold Cup. I admit that Kempton might be his preferred track, but I don't see why he shouldn't now go on and be able to go elsewhere.
There's no reason why he won't go around Cheltenham. I mean, he's obviously a better horse yesterday than he was at Cheltenham, wasn't he?
Yeah, and as I say, that we probably find that they weren't just quite as they should have been at the Paddy Power meeting. I think the one thing that came out yesterday is that he does have the stamina, and therefore sort of 2 mile 5 round Cheltenham, certainly in the Paddy Power, wasn't going to help him like yesterday did. He just got into a really nice rhythm. Sam just always had him where he wanted to be. We had no ground plan that you had to be here or you had to be there. It was just let the horse get into a rhythm and enjoy himself, and that's what he did. And apart from actually nudging the first, after that his jumping really was slick and accurate and brave, and they get on really well together, and they always have done. And I hope that's put the doubters to bed anyway.
Will you run him again before Cheltenham?
Yeah, we haven't really even discussed Cheltenham yet, but from what I saw yesterday, it nearly takes the Ryanair out.
He looked like a stayer, didn't he?
Because I think all he did was stay, even for a moment turning in. It looked as if he might not even get to Knackerat. But then stamina kicked in, and he was, he kept galloping all the way. And actually Riverside stayed as well, which was the sort of surprise of it. And you do have to stay around Kempton. I know Mick's always said that you've got to stay around Kempton just as much as you've got to stay around anywhere else. It might be a flat and easy track, but that's why they'll always go a good gallop, and there's no hiding places there.
I get the impression that Long Run, it was expected, if you like, but Binocular put up an extraordinary performance.
We would have said that this wasn't his track, and I was frightened it wouldn't be his ground. In fairness, and well done Kempton, because Kempton's played a blinder actually. They managed to keep the races at Kempton, which they were entitled to do. They were their races. Barney's done brilliantly. There was a great crowd, there was a great atmosphere. What was nice is actually the ground wasn't anything like as bad as what we all expected it to be, especially after Sandown the previous weekend, and we know that it was only 5 miles down the road and it was chucking down rain all week. So they've done a great job. Kempton always, we know Kempton's a bit better than most places at the best of times, but it was decent ground, and I think that helped Binocular. But he was impressive yesterday, because it's all part of a bigger picture with him. That might have been Long Run's sort of major target of the year. It wasn't Binoculars, and we're back where I think he belongs. He's still the one they've got to knock off his pedestal.
Would you consider the Sandown race again?
I would, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the timing has gone a bit awry because of the delay with the Christmas hurdle, but I was just worried a week ago that he'd gone a bit flat, and I don't think he was flat. I think he was just, I don't say I was worried, I think he was just, like a lot of them, probably getting a bit bored. And we actually schooled him on Thursday, which I didn't really intend to do, but I think it was just a method. It was just a way of just sort of snapping his brain back into gear, and I think it was just to keep AP amused, really. But
and the others as well. Chablais, obviously a very nice horse.
Yeah, promising. Lovely chaser next year. That was a nice performance first time.
Yeah, and Nadiya de Vega as well.
Yep. Barry thought another half a mile. I wasn't sure about that, but because she shows a lot of speed at home, I think experience is what she wants, and she'll stay chasing and try and get a bit of black type into her first, because she actually has to be sold at the end of the season, like all the Million in Mind horses, and so it'd be nice. She'll probably move up into we'll try and get a bit of black type for her somewhere.
And with Cheltenham creeping up on us as it is already, Punchestown, when is he going to run?
I would think the Aon is the most likely. Good form. He worked yesterday, and he's definitely. I think I was very pleased with him at Newbury. People were impressed with the winner, but I mean, he would have a lot of improvement in him.
Great. And you said before, your horses, although they were winning before Christmas, I just felt they weren't quite hitting the mark. I mean, but
there was a lot we couldn't even run.
Yeah.
It was just a bit. There was something just moving around the yard that just told you weren't 100%, and we were having to be rather mindful of it and careful what we ran. But now you'd have to say, yeah, everything looks okay, and just make the most of it while they're running like it.